Right. Where do I even begin to start with this one? There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all. And it's wet. Someone washed it recently? Spotless hammer. It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. Kinda awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh? But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel. There's blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? Yakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died... Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So in other words...
There's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see? I mean, he is kinda dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like that there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about this case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killers try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. If that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your #1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps... I see. That's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. Some mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Ifumi's big, cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered, to here, the repository. All the way from the 1st floor to the 3rd, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? No good. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now, they're completely clean. Does this mean someone wiped his glasses off? Who would do that? And why? Hifumi's glasses. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. Found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? There's a tarp laid out under his body. The killer used this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved.
So,
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. About the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but...
And we came right to the repository to, you know, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. I also checked that door, so I don't know why Makoto's still surprised. So if that's true, then who locked it, and why is it unlocked now? I wondered the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Yes? Sure? This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. Soon after that, we split up. Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. Found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office... Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor, where we split up and began searching. And right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. He ran off. And then... At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However...
At the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. It means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. That's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. As soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who had arrived just to tell us something very unusual. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was, in fact, gone. And we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This time, Taka's body had disappeared. So from there, we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies and we all headed to the repository. There we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
However,
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. I guess I never had to do that in the first place. I thought she was gonna add something. It's a nice recap, though. There's only one way in and out of this room, through the door that Hina said was locked before. Definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from the inside, inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that certain someone... there's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There's some places I already know about. First the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room where Taka was found. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away.
What?
I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. Hold on, I need to plug in my watch. Some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There's blood on its tire. Did that blood have come from... here? You mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly? Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that could definitely have been possible. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with the dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. Huh? This tarp? I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too. I wonder where he saw it. Justice Hammer 4. The weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. I don't think there's anything here. To the nurse's office. I think it might be faster to just do this. What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
how Hifumi was moved, huh? When it disappeared, you're supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. Seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. When you got back, the body was gone? You could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
Indeed.
To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... Can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. Can't check the bloodstain? Refrigerator. I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. For everything I've been through, I'm totally perched. Maybe just a quick peek. There's a bunch of blood packets in here. For blood transfusions, I guess. Doesn't help me though. I'm not a vampire. Just a normal trash can. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. Too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. But it's also covered in blood.
Oh!
You find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can.
Huh?
A cleaning cloth? It's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I want to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? Already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? I don't know where his room is at. I think it might be towards the end, though. Door is unlocked? I guess I can go inside. Takuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. This is Hero's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where do you even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy, though. How does the bathroom even get this dirty? It's kinda gross. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something, and Some things made out of, it looks like cardboard. Tape, plastic, and plaster? Is this Robo Justice? It's in Hero's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. I feel like they're spelling it out for you. Makoto, big news, big news. What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hiro, wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. I think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Kyoko, and...
I mean...
Phew, man, I have had the worst day. Hiro? I'm positive that is the suspicious individual that attacked me. Apparently, that ridiculous object is Hiro. I'd ask Kyoko for the details if I were you. Robo Justice finally made his appearance, huh? I guess Kyoko's the one that found him. Hiro?
Huh? Oh, hey, Makoto.
You're right, Fardo. They do literally spell it out in the first chapter. Yeah, duh. Who else would I be? That's a good question.
Huh?
What? Why do I look like this? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati?
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean!
I still can't believe you kicked me. Could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden, without a trace.
Well,
There's something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
It's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, he says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
and?
First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean...
Well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up, and then I was here. I don't care, do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you.
Huh?
Well,
Let me out of here!
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
You got it all wrong!
I didn't make the stupid friggin' thing.
it would seem...
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. It's like a lockbox clasp. You don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Whew, free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro?
So then...
More to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
Honestly,
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
is that okay?
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be...
Then it's obvious. The one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone
That's terrible!
was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the worst.
Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else.
What?
Tie me up? Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking? Blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them.
Please!
What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costume attacker?
What the heck?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a bit, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume. I thought I was gonna say beat.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, you see, it's cause you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. No good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just a second.
See, I told you it was impossible. You're absolutely right. Seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But...
Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hero's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible.
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Did someone, like, tell me?
Oh.
I certainly did not expect Hiro and Kyoko to turn up at the same time. But where's Kyoko been hiding all this time? I have no idea.
Then perhaps...
Perhaps she really is working for the mastermind. What else would explain her questionable behavior? But... They're quite protective of her, yes? That's because she's helped me out so much up until now. If I were the mastermind, that is exactly what I would do to earn your trust. It's looking more and more like it really was a setup.
What the heck?
There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it. Everyone knows it. Big locker near the pool. She looks like she's lost in thought. I don't think she's in the mood to talk. I'd better leave her alone.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey Makoto, who was it? Well, two people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? Two people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it.
Please!
I did not.
Huh?
Wait, hold on. If those two are the ones that were killed,
How about that?
that's it. I know who did it.
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right?
I'm at least 30% right.
Which means Alter Ego and or Chihiro must have done it.
Correct.
See, that's unfortunate.
Please.
Huh? Unfortunate?
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit it that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh, so then.
I know, that note. Note?
Last
night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole. Maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, then for some reason, I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So...
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that.
Huh?
Really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape? Someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? Yahoo! They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my, pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure.
Please.
You gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us reason. What the heck? For serious? Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hiro. No, it's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broken, that's why.
Please.
Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me.
What are you saying?
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. You have time to yell and carry on. You have time to search for your evidence, right?
What?
You're right. I need to look for the second suit and that note. Pete, don't fail me now. I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I'm gonna ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away.
Makoto.
Do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. Why no? You reject me so simply.
Anyway...
I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay, I guess?
Shall we go?
Thanks. Now, then shall we?
Hey,
So Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey,
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
anyway...
We have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. And I guess we should head that way for now. Can I fast travel? Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid, but only for a moment.
So then,
Well then, let's get started. He crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth, and she was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse from the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. I just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. Most likely killed using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office. But we found his body in the nurse's office. His glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that? And why?
I see.
Kodo, I found something. You did?
Hey,
Remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? This is my first playthrough. Isn't it in the title? I could have sworn I made that the title for this game, or for this Twitch thingy. You did? You're so oblivious to the people around you. You dislike other people that much. No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch?
so then,
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? Most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6?
that's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey, the recap. Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. Oh, right. Okay. I actually forgot
In other
about that. So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. It must have happened at 6 this morning.
However,
That's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. Appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto,
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
because
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper?
hey,
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then,
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Oh, did you find anything?
indeed.
I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
That's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see? In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... Exactly. Mr. Kiltz, I have the same thought process there. Better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note? Hey, it's missing a corner. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
so...
That sounds very familiar. That's it, it's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
However,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? Different times. Time is different. Here Toda says note set to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
is that right?
Hold on, just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped? Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully.
Hey,
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? How would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. Does Makoto not realize that scrap of paper is like part of this note? Who's my waifu? It's Sakura. We're best friends with her. We've given her all the presents. I guess this girl is second place, though.
Hey,
While we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Hero? Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. I think I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is that right?
You didn't have to think about them at all. I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a... Wait, what did she just say? I, like, completely spaced out. Okay. A handbook may play a role. I don't think I understand. If Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind. What would the e-handbook be used for? Wait, we're already going to the case?
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
It would seem...
Unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Linko. Thank you. I'll try my best. I'm really dumb at these class trials, though. I almost failed the last one, but we somehow got all A ranks, even though I was on, like, a half a heart of health on each section of it. Oh, you're more into the swimmer girl, Louis?
Shall we go?
Well, we'd better get going. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, I almost failed every single segment of the last trial, and I'm sure this one's gonna only be harder. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
What? Hello, hello, hello. He's multiplied? Linko, I think you're right, because I had a half heart, so I took a lot of damage. Because your heart refilled at each segment of the last class trial. And I still got all A's. And I was really confused. I was like, how can you get all A's if you, like, took so much damage? I'm really bad at these. I, like, overthink some parts, and then some things I, like, don't think enough. It's really bad. He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. Louis, what flavor Pop-Tart? I'm moving so fast it only looks like I multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? But Linko, I didn't truly beat Change because I didn't get the true ending yet. I'm saving that stream for a special day, though. I do not like strawberry Pop-Tarts. Actually, I haven't tried it toasted, though. I usually eat Pop-Tarts cold, which is probably why I like brown sugar cinnamon and wild berry the most. But I'm too lazy to toast my Pop-Tarts. But now that I got an actual toaster, I might actually do it now. Because, like, usually I have to put it in a toaster oven, and that takes forever, so I never do that. Even if it tastes better. Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along. I used to put Pop-Tarts in the fridge, but, like, I don't really do it anymore, because they eventually run out. Because I buy the really small packs, right? I think Pop-Tarts in the fridge is fine, though.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Or Monokuma. Although he's, like, kind of evil. Okay, fine.
Hey! Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train. Or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it. For serious. Let me put on my watch before we do this. It's so toasty. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. It would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the classroom. Courtroom.
That's right.
He's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. Why does Makoto look so fashionable when he's like such a moron? The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here.
Damn.
I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude. Actually, Makoto looks like he's a Kingdom Hearts character.
Just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go, so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes. Were you listening? Wait till we get to the classroom, to the courtroom to begin your arguing. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. Trial will be over in no time.
Yes.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it. It wasn't me. You gotta believe me.
hey,
Story begins when we get down there. I actually think I remember this a little bit from when I watched the anime like years ago. I like this case that we're about to do, I feel like it stuck with me. The other ones didn't really, but we'll see what if I fail this. If I somehow manage to get through this, it's probably because I remembered something. Took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own. The steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There's no going back. But we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. Not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
I'm not goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break.
Yahoo!
I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. So the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Okay, I'm gonna review all my truth bullets, just like we usually do. Harp, a dolly. I don't remember why it has no handles. I can't think of why it would have no handles. A washed hammer. The door. The blood stain. Fumi's body disappeared when Celeste and... completely steadies your aim. Actually sounds crazy good. This is the one I got from maxing out my friendship with Sakura, I think. I can't afford this skill. Focus gauge? I don't think I ever use focus gauge though. Yeah, I like never use this, so either of these don't really matter. Don't they just cancel each other out? Just based on how they're worded?
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
I don't know, to me, every single character in this game is like quirky, like really over-the-top quirky, and that's just a thing they do with all the characters. I would put Celeste in there too. The only one that's like pretty neutral is Makoto, but it's because he's a moron, so...
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Leon was quirky. He was supposed to be like really friendly because he doesn't like the thing that he's good at. But we found that to be a ruse, right?
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Hiro really the killer, or anything else? We have to make that clear. One bullet.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that
this
you
is nice.
are the culprit.
The tranquility thing.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Hold on. Where would I put this? The message? Wait, how far back do I have to go? It's just the big messages, right? Okay. Blueprints. Oh, never mind.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
I have to erase it before I shoot it,
Hiro, why?
because otherwise it gets white noise.
Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
No, that's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
At least he's honest.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Of course he passes it off to me.
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
So, God. Suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit. I feel like it was Hiro.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
Louis, did you watch, were you watching when I was playing this the other day, like on day 2? Because Byakuya tried everything in his power to get everyone killed. Like, he changed the murder scene to make it look like it was him. Because he got to the murder scene first. And he tried to get all of you killed, so you can't trust this guy, he's crazy.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
I know a lot of people like him in real life, so I don't really like this guy. But when I first watched the show, I think I liked him a lot. In the game, I think he's pretty similar. But I know a lot of people like this guy.
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Things that were used. Clearly, the dolly.
I got it!
Oh, one more thing.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Can you guys please stop looting Byakuya? What's with that? What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room.
It's true in a fictional world they are pretty interesting, but they're like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a very predictable wild card. It's a fake wild card.
So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Cool your jets. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change your mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Yes, what new element has been added? Reloading. Your ammo count. The tab key? What? Wait, I don't remember how to activate Fever Time. Oh shoot, it's this thing. Wait. Space key. Wait, so do I have to press both the... This is so confusing. This thing was the first thing that killed me during the first case. Tempo. You're able to keep up with the rhythm. Oh, okay.
You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool! So pathetic! Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst! Away with you! You miserable wretch! I cannot agree! You are a fool! Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst, you miserable wretch! You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool! So pathetic!
Get out of here!
I cannot agree!
This should prove it! If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person... Wait, what did he just say? Oh, because he can't move the suit.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Okay.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Right?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off.
I think this is the
Now,
one I shoot.
Keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Oh, it's this. It has to be that
push the dolly,
statement.
no problem.
I'm gonna check to make sure everything's
So the
correct.
killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
The dolly doesn't have any handles, so to push it, you'd have to be able to bend over. But would anyone wearing that suit have been able to actually stoop down like that?
As we know,
Okay, so Louis, how did Yakuya try to kill everyone exactly? His goal was only to make it more interesting, because otherwise the case would be boring. Because the person who killed the murderer that killed the victim was really dumb. So it would have been really immediately obvious if he left the room the way it was. So he messed up the murder scene to try to, yeah, he wanted to have more fun. Wait, can I check? I can't check it anymore. I think it's the bend over one though.
and from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember? When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
But there's a latch. Once it's on, you can never take it off.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
Oh no, once you put it on, it's on forever.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said? So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
He's so easily manipulated, holy smokes.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Keep in mind, if they choose the wrong person, they all die. And the person that actually did it gets to walk out of here. There's a big reason why they want to get the correct suspect here.
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Like, why would anyone rush any of this if your lives are at stake, right?
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice.
I just love the name they gave the suit.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
and then... At At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups.
I just realized the comic at the end of this is gonna be so long. Oh, I'm not looking forward to that.
Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
This is actually a very complex case.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising. We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again. But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. Which is... oh, okay, never mind. You're just hit in the head with similar objects.
Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
What? So the file that I have, it just states that they died. I don't know if I'm supposed to grab what order to hit the numbering, because the numbering is not right, because the hammers, just because they're named each number doesn't mean they were killed in that order. Can I look at my things? So this is what the file actually says. It doesn't say what order they're in. It doesn't say time of death or anything. It's just when they were discovered.
So, regarding Taka's
I'm gonna try shoot
death,
the second one first.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
I actually think I need to grab something.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Wait. I think I do have to grab one of these. Either the
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
I don't know what order to grab this though. I think I grab what order and then shoot numbering. I'm gonna do what order into the numbering.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, thank God I was right.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order.
Hey, Munch.
But in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
The clean hammer. Oh no, his watch. Wait, what is Hangman's Gambit? I forgot what this is. Wristwatch. S. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't mess that up. Where's the H?
Now I understand. I got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Really? You get none of the letters for free? That's crazy.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
I'm really dumb, so I don't think I could have beaten this game on the hardest difficulty for a first playthrough. I almost failed the Class 2 trials, or the Case 2. Like, I got down to half a heart on 3 different sections of it. But we still got all A ranks because we didn't actually fail.
And that would be his official time of death.
I didn't understand the save the letter thing and then shoot it later. And I think I was overthinking things, and that's how I kept losing all my hearts.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
How many times are they gonna replay this scene? This is like the 4th time this chapter.
heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up!
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Munch, I actually think I remember this case from the anime. I'm pretty sure I know who did it. I'm not gonna say anything. So I'm not gonna name anyone that I suspect. But this case actually impressed me when I watched it. I remember that. Like, this case is very memorable.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
If you're following along, I'm sure you can guess who did it. But don't say anything in chat, because don't spoil it for everyone else.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies.
I'm probably gonna do the full series. But not right away. I might wait for the next summer sale, because I don't think I want to pay $60 for V3. I have Danganronpa 1 and 2 though, so maybe I'll do 2, but I want to do that other Bard game first. So not right away.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
I also don't have the Despair Girls or whatever thing. Oh, I only have 1 and 2. I think Despair Girls is also $60, so I'm not sure if I want to pay like $120 for 2 games.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
Oh, by the way, I'm definitely picking up The World Ends With You remix. That was like one of my favorite games. I don't remember a lot of the plot because it got really confusing towards the end, but I actually remember loving that game because I put a lot of hours into it.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Gasp! Oh! Oh!
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Oh boy. Oh, I just have one bullet. Is this because I have that skill on?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Gasp! Oh. Oh. I have to figure out where I need to grab, because I know I need to grab one of these statements. He was actually still alive. Dead body had been found. Someone else's discovery. So which statement? I'm thinking aloud, don't say what it is. But basically, one of these statements shoots down the other as related to the watch. I think it's the, he was actually still alive? Oh, wait. Someone else's discovery, which is talking about Taka. I think it's someone else's discovery into dead body had been found. Because the only thing I have is broken watch.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is
I forgot what I was grabbing.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
I'm getting the last
Surely
statement.
you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery
I know, but I end up
announcement
missing
along
it
with the
all the
rest of
time.
us.
I miss the timing.
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that's wrong.
I've tried speeding it up like during the first case and we almost failed because I was doing the speed
Was the
up.
body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
Keep in mind, I haven't gone to sleep yet. So like, I couldn't even remember where each statement was being said, even though we just saw it. So I didn't want to speed it up because I don't remember where each statement was, if that makes any sense.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Come on, Hero.
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second body discovery announcement. First time I played was when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. Second time was when... I think it's this.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Cleaned his glasses.
Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Why is it on Makoto?
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Okay.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
Because he walked away,
the
right?
Next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous.
But Hifumi's body was found in the nurse's office, and when it was found... Actually, I'm gonna look at this first. Before... Because, like, after he's done talking, it just starts again. So the body disappeared. No notable difference. Oh, it's just shooting the last statement, like... I don't think I need to grab anything. Because it's his glasses. Alright. I just have to make sure. I can speed this up. There's definitely some sort of conflict there.
Well, here's one thing. The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time, it was in.
But when you
Okay, let's
compare
stop
his
here.
body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
No, that's wrong! In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was... Could it be the glasses cleaning cloth?
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was... Princess Tiggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
I'd say calling a morbidly obese dude a copious corpse is pretty impressive.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead... What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Down his pants.
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Fumi's pets.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
How does her tongue do that? Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. I can't let her get to me. Oh god, I got 3 choices now.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Okay, so I have, I think I have the broken watch. I think I have the note and I have the glasses. Huffy had the note right. Huffy. It has nothing to do with Taka. I'm gonna go through this one more time. I need to see what my 3 bullets are. I don't remember what they were. Time of the notes at 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? What I need to clear up. That Taka died.
Huffy had the note, right?
The
Then
cloth.
the person it was intended for
Broken wristwatch.
must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
Okay, it's the broken wristwatch.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Wait. It's the broken wristwatch onto that part, right? Or can I grab something from here? I think I need to grab what the note said. Huffy had the note. So it's not for Huffy. It's not for Hifumi. I think I do need to grab what the note said and shoot it at. Nothing to do with TikTok, because I don't think shooting just the watch is gonna do anything. So let's try that. We're gonna grab the second one and shoot it at the last one.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for
I don't know where it appears, so I'm not
must have
speeding
been
it up.
Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Oh no. My seriously adorably serious face.
Shoot!
Maybe I shoot it the opposite way. Nothing to do with TikTok into what the note said. Or maybe I just shoot the watch directly into this. Because we have the glasses cloth, which doesn't really do anything. I'm gonna try to do that. We're gonna start with the broken watch, grab the nothing to do with TikTok, and then shoot into the note. And if that's not the case, then I'm just gonna shoot it directly into the third statement.
Happy had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Happy!
Oops.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok! Happy had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Happy!
But remember what the note said.
Oh god. Okay, I think I just shoot the broken watch directly into the statement.
Shoot!
I'm just gonna shoot it directly into the third statement. This is my plan of action.
Happy had the note, then the person it was in must have been Happy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Okay.
No, that's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
Alright. Yeah, I think I'm just, like, confused because, like, I know... Like, I'm basically saying out loud my thought process, right? I guess, like, I just keep overthinking things, and that's why I keep taking damage. Because I keep thinking, oh yeah, they want me to grab this and then shoot it here. But I guess that's not really the case.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka. The broken note.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip. leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Come on, Makoto.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. Contradiction. Contradiction. We already have the spotless hammer loaded in here. I'm gonna wait till I see all the statements.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Did I grab that?
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers! And,
no.
That's about it.
No? I think I grabbed Justice Hammer 5 and then shoot it into one of the Justice Hammers. Or maybe I just shoot it directly in there. Because, like, technically this would be Justice Hammer 5, the Queen Hammer. Okay, I'm gonna try that, and if it doesn't work, then I'm just gonna shoot it directly into the last statement.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Was it maybe justice? Well, whatever it was,
I don't remember where it was.
We have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
What? Okay, it has to be just...
Shoot!
What was used to... Was it maybe justice?
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody witness them?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime
Oh, maybe I just shoot that.
Info.
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
I'm glad I didn't do that.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... I hate these already. Oh my gosh, I am the worst at these.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Clean hammer. Oh, actually, I'm gonna shoot the two murders into the impossible.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
Even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive, assuming the rule holds true.
No, that's wrong! since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
I've had a sub button for over a year, I think. Because I know people have hit the 1-year badge.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
Fardo has a 1-year badge.
However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the 2 murders were the same as the main characteristic this time. Coco must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Coco really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case is unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Where are you? There you are!
Here's my answer! It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the 2 of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the 2 of you were working together.
I feel like it's the screaming, but it could also be this.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Actually, it wouldn't be the screaming because they don't know that it was Hifumi screaming, I guess. And actually, they both did scream. But realistically, only Hifumi screamed. And Celeste pretended like she was screaming.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Oh no.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor.
Look at her face. Just look at her. Look at her on the right.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab...
Hey, Wall was correct. We saw that a 5th time. That was the 5th time we saw that flashback.
It was time for her partner to get to work.
Oh, actually, this is the fifth time.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
She's actually surprisingly quiet for this.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They... Actually, never mind. I'm dumb.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Yeah, I realize that, Mr. Kiltz. I've been awake all night. Don't judge me.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Takuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
What was so strange? I have the Monokuma file equipped in the bullet. It's like... What was so strange about Celeste's comments? Knowing the sight of us. I feel like it's those guys, but I... Let me check the, thingy one more time. I don't know where to shoot this. Knowing the sight of us. Must be positively elated. We're all going to die here. Hold on, I'm like really stuck right now. I must really be enjoying this. I feel like it has to be one of these. Something from her statement. But what's the contradiction? Showing the sight of us. I like. Okay, well, I'm gonna shoot So Strange into those guys.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of
Actually, I might just shoot it directly.
Around,
but I think it is, I have to grab it.
Positively, we are all going to die. We are going to die. Just like, and that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was...
They must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be...
We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like the...
Oh, thank God.
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Looking back at it, it seems really obvious, but I just couldn't think of where, like, what part of that I should shoot it at.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? It wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. The only other possibility is...
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Whoa. Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Holy smokes, there's so many arguments. The costume, the message, and the blueprints.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No?
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Okay, well, the costume can't bend, so, I'm just making sure here. Does it say on the blueprints? Have the arms bend like this? No, I don't think... Okay, here. They can't bend at the waist for more than 90 degrees. It has to be that, because the note doesn't do anything here. And carry my weight. You look like a bad guy. Okay, I think I just shoot it directly into stand up straight.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across your food. You tried to make me look like the
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, the suspect is if the person inside the suit was unconscious. There's no way they could stand up.
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Oh, her face is coming out.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate? Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I don't remember. I don't think it's nicknames.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
I was wondering why they gave me the ID card as evidence.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come
on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well? Do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine! Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Clearly, it's the e-handbook bullet.
Fumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict
I'm just
me,
shooting that.
No, that's wrong.
There's no possible way whatever she was gonna say after that is gonna be something better than that.
That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before. So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Oh god, this is what I was worried about. The comic? Oh boy. Alright, how long is this? Okay, it's not that bad. I have 19 minutes to do this. I almost ran out of time last time. Oh my god. Why do I have this again? This one's not part of this case either. Where would a camera be? Right here. Tips. Dag. Well, I'm guessing it has to be... Actually, maybe it's this. Like, this is here, and then the chips are actually there. So, the drug Yasuhiro. This is at 1 in the morning. I don't know if it's over here, though. It's somewhere here, though. This is where he smashes him with the hammer. Which one would it be? I don't remember which one he was killed by. I'm gonna assume it's that. No, I think it's 3. No, he was killed by 3? Oh, I can check. I think? No, maybe not. Oh my gosh, this one's actually pretty hard. Yeah, I think he was killed with the later hammer. Wait, what goes after here? That's when they find the bodies. It wasn't 6. I think it has to be this one. No, this is the dolly part. Never mind. After that, he looked around, he pushed the cart. I think it was them washing the... Oh, it's probably this. This is probably that one. In the bag. He's checking his watch. Wait, so this is the one in the morning. 6. I don't know, is that this? No, wait. I screwed this up. Because they meet earlier. And this is him checking his watch at 6 in the morning when he dies. He gets hit by Hammer 2. Okay, this is from a previous case. This might be the one in the beginning. This is from a previous case. Let me just go through this one more time. So this is him meeting with Celeste. They make a deal. At 1 in the morning, they meet up with Yasa. They just meet up with Hiro. And then he gets surprise drugged. They take a picture while they're carrying him away. And then he kills Taka at 6 in the morning. He gets hit in the head by Hammer 2. He spreads blood. Wait, this doesn't make sense. This one, this? Oh, it's not game over. I lose a heart. Okay, let's do this.
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking them, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room.
This one might not be right.
There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that.
Oh, it's not. Ouch. Okay, was it actually the hammer then? Because this is the unidentified hammer. I think this is where it should be. Not sure about... Okay, all the previous ones are correct. So that means... I think it has to be this, right?
Here's exactly what happened. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is... Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost?
Oh, we made it through this case alive.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
I don't think there's anything wrong with her name.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Hog Camp.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
You know, when I was first watching the anime, like a billion years ago, I think Celeste was my favorite character, and I was really sad when this happened. Because, like, I knew it was her, and I was just like, man... Her and Sakura were my favorites.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened?
I think the only reason I remembered this case was because Celeste was the murderer.
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I completely forgot about the robot costume, though. I completely forgot about that, but... As soon as I saw the hammers, I knew what case this was.
What?
But I couldn't say anything because I didn't want to spoil it for anyone.
Ta-da!
Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Keiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. I thought her plan was, like, ingenious, honestly. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan? But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, you know? I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... You talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
what? Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
Oh, it was him. But how did he do it? He was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
what?
And he took pictures. Said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but...
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
Completely unforgivable!
I'm going to kill him. Blank.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to try to kill you.
indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself.
This is unforgivable! Completely unforgivable!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I?
I swear I will save her!
Actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? Just so happens, I've come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. I think that's the only type I've seen so far. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Fumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded, he was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to the Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that and he believed it. All seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
You had planned to kill him all along. But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But...
All along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
There was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Honestly, big mood, huge mood. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but...
There is nothing to be done.
Unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh.
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. Not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right, I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then...
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey.
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The black and disturb the peace then must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again, in another life.
The burning of the Versailles Witch. Yeah, these sequences are shown in the anime series. I don't remember them, though. I do remember this one, though, because she was, like, my favorite. I was, like, so sad. But I knew it was coming. But, like, I was still really sad. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that, at one point, I considered her a friend, too. And for him to just come along and... Is Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you got some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey! Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh!
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh! How exciting!
Oh man, oh geez, oh man, oh geez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
That means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
It's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. And I'll go too.
What?
You? Please, let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
And it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? The Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
So then,
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw...
You're really cute.
Good morning. Been a while, hasn't it? It's safe. Thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. Did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon, maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that...
Indeed.
It's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe? In me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back, you said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. Secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? Said it was way in the back of the storage closet. I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. Suddenly, as if I were being yanked in. At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door, and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
There's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? There's a bunch of files and what looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry? This is the only thing here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. A strange sensation. Like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? I... A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then... darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Ow. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull, throbbing pain in my head proved that much, at least. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. All gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. All gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. Somehow, I made it back to the first floor of the school. The farther I walked, the more I felt things are getting blurry, can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. That sound... It's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? Can't be nothing. Here, in the gym? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me?
Do not call her Sakura Undertale!
This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay. But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be? The mastermind spy is... And with that, we close the chapter out. Holy smokes, and now there's only 7 people remaining. Super Robo Justice present.
Danganronpa.
Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. That was a very much longer than I thought stream. I'm probably gonna host one of my friends. I'm sure you might enjoy him a bit more than this. So let me send you guys over there. Wait, what is my Twitch doing? Not look. Alright. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later. I'll probably be continuing this on Wednesday because my throat really hurts after that 7-hour session. But thank you so much. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.